First try. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Zenjen, your meditation, mindfulness, spiritual wellness, holistic bestie. Manifesting is such a buzzword. And I get it because it's actually like a really cool concept, and I've had situations in my life where things seemingly manifest out of nowhere and just drop into my reality. But I do have to hold myself back sometimes because sometimes people just talk about manifesting in such a misleading way. Like they'll just say, oh, I'm manifesting this, or like, manifest it, girl. And they just say it because it's a trendy thing to say, but in reality, what they're doing and what they're saying has nothing to do with manifesting. Manifestation is when you take something theoretical, like a thought, a dream, an idea, and make it into a tangible thing in your life. And before you come for me, yes, feelings can be tangible too. And the reason I get a little bit heated about this is because for years I would make a pretty mood board or make a manifestation list or do some moon ceremony ritual and think that my manifestation was just gonna drop into my lap within the week, and then it wouldn't. Like, I really thought I was fully manifesting. And I would get so discouraged and bummed out because I'd be like, people always talk about how easy manifestation is, but for some reason it just doesn't work for me. Like, this isn't fair. I don't even want to know how many pages of old journals I've filled with manifestation lists. Anyway, it took a lot of trial and error throughout the years to figure out what kind of manifestation works for me, and spoiler alert, it has a lot to do with letting go of control, which we'll get to later. But the reason this video idea even sparked in my mind is because I was specifically going through my notes app looking for something, and I came across this note from December 12th, 2021, and it was titled 2022 Goals. I distinctly remember that when I was typing out this note, I thought, oh, I'm gonna put the word goals instead of manifestation so I won't put as much pressure on myself. Like, first of all, what? And second of all, I achieved none of these things in 2022. But then I took a closer look and realized that I'm actually pretty close to achieving a good number of these goals in 2024, so then I got really excited for myself. And then that's when it kind of clicked for me that there is a difference between goal setting and actively manifesting something. Because at least for me, I grew up thinking that you always needed a 2, a 5, a 10-year plan full of goals that you wanted to achieve within that time frame, but it just puts so much pressure on myself, and I haven't had a plan since 2020, and I am so much better off for it. Because at least for me, when I try to put strict parameters on the timing of things, that means I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself, and because of that pressure, I try to control every step of the process, and then ultimately that leads to me burning out of my motivation. And then I just give up completely. And if you're actively trying to manifest something, control is one of the first things that's gotta go. So going back to my 2022 goals list, let's look at it from a different perspective. So we're not looking at it from a place of, it's 2022, these are the things that I want to achieve within this year. Instead, we're looking at it from the perspective of, these are the things that I would like to achieve in my life at some point as of today, when I'm creating this list. And honestly, just looking at it that way takes so much pressure off of your shoulders, right? Now, can you look at all of your goals that way? So every time you write down a list of goals, look at it from, what do I want to do within my life? Maybe 5 years from now, 10, 20, maybe even when you're 90, it doesn't even matter. There's no timeline, just desires that will help you stay motivated throughout your entire life. Honestly, I just think it's such a lighthearted way of looking at your goals. It takes a lot of pressure off, and it makes the journey to accomplishing those goals so much more fun. But then there's the shift from creating those goals to actively manifesting what you want into your reality. And like, at which point does it even switch? And then when you get to the manifesting part, how the hell do you even manifest anyway? Hang tight, I got you. For me, I like to focus on just 1 or 2 things from my goals list at a time that I actively want to manifest within a time period. Because let's be real, trying to manifest every single thing on your goals list all at once is exhausting, it's overwhelming, and for me, ultimately, it's gonna make me give up. So when I picked those 1 or 2 goals that I wanna actively manifest, and I'm like, all right, let's go, let's get into it, there's a few things that I'm gonna do. The first thing I'm gonna do is just take a couple of days to reflect on it. This doesn't have to be something that takes over your whole days. It's more so just kind of toying with the idea a little bit. I'm not writing full pages about it just yet. I might mention it in my morning journal pages. I might say something like, oh, I'm kind of getting the itch to bring XYZ, or let's say a new apartment into my life, and just kind of seeing what comes up when I'm toying with it. Just simple reflections. This time of reflection in the beginning is very non-committal. Like I said, you're just toying with it, letting it pop up into your mind throughout the day at different points during the day, and just noticing how your body and your mind responds. Do you get really excited? Do you get really scared? Or Do you get nervous? What kind of things come up for you as it pops into your mind? Sometimes I'll even mention it to a close friend and say like, hey, I'm looking into doing this. Like, what do you think? And I'll listen for what kind of support and response I get from them. I will say just be really careful about who you share this kind of information with. I know for me, this does feel like a very vulnerable thing to share with someone. So when you are speaking to someone about this, just make sure it's someone that you know that you can trust and that they're not just going to put down your idea because it's outlandish or because they're jealous of you or those sort of things. And I know for me, there was a period in my life where I didn't share my desires or the things that I really wanted to manifest with people close to me just because I hadn't figured out yet who those people were that I could use as a sounding board. And I wasn't getting the supportive feedback that I needed and the encouragement to keep moving forward. And it just didn't make me feel good. Sometimes you do just have to keep it to yourself, and that's okay. Like, eventually you're gonna find those people who are always gonna be there to support you and cheer you on. So after a few days of toying with the idea, some non-committal reflecting, and I decided, okay, I want to pursue this. This is now when I go all in with the journaling and the meditating. So in my journal, I'll write about what my life looks like once this desire manifests into my reality. I'll talk about the emotions that I feel when I'm picturing this. I'll even talk about how my body is responding to it. And I always make sure to write words of encouragement that are loving and will help push me forward throughout this manifesting process. After a good journal sesh, I will head over to my meditation cushion. During this meditation, I will start by grounding myself, connecting to my body as I always do, and then I will connect to my third eye chakra, which is right here between your eyebrows. And once I connect to this space, that's when I start visualizing this new life. So all the details that I wrote down in my journal are now brought to life, and more things are flooding in, more things that I'm seeing that I didn't even think about when I was writing it down. I'm now all seeing it in my mind during this meditation, and it's really fun. And it's actually kind of like a trick on your brain, because your brain can't tell the difference between what you're actually experiencing and what you're visualizing in your mind. So it gives yourself and your brain a little bit of a confidence boost. It's telling your brain like, hey, we can do this. This is no problem. This is life. This is how it goes. Slay. And at the end of the meditation, I will always express gratitude. Gratitude for the life that you're currently living in this reality and the life that you will be living once your desire manifests into your new reality. And then this is really like the fun part. Before I close out my meditation, I will create a secret code with the universe. It kind of turns your life into a treasure hunt full of surprises, and like, I love surprises. So if you love surprises too, then you'll absolutely love this part. I ask the universe to show me a sign when I'm taking the right steps towards my manifestation, because listen, it can be really scary to go after a big dream. In my experience, you're gonna have to let places, people, and things go in order to stay on your highest path and create a reality full of your deepest desires. And maybe during those tough and scary times, you're questioning, is this the right thing for me to be doing? I need support. What am I even doing? What am I going after? Is this what I really want? But if you created a code with the universe, then you'll be given the reassurance or the redirection that you need in order to stay on top of manifesting that desire and stay within your highest path. And you can make this secret code as wacky as you want. So you can say, listen, universe, when I'm taking the proper steps towards my desire, show me a pink elephant dancing on a surfboard, or whatever you want. Now, everything that I just talked about, the reflecting, the journaling, the manifesting, the secret codes, I like to think about all of that as putting in your order with the universe. You're showing the universe what you want and what kind of support you need along the way. And now that you've done that, you can start the co-creation process. Because as I said before, you can make all of the pretty collages, all of the lists in the world, but if you are not doing something to actively manifest your desire, then it will probably be a really long time until you actually see that manifestation. So when I say co-create, I mean you are co-creating this new life with the universe. So you put in your order. Now the universe is taking care of that. They're doing their thing over there. Now it's your turn to do your thing over here. And what this looks like in your life can and will most likely look different with every single manifestation. And what you do can be as big or as small as you want. You don't have to go crazy. Let me give you an example of something I did to co-create my move to Costa Rica. At the beginning of 2023, I knew I either wanted to move to Arizona or Costa Rica. I wasn't sure where yet, but that didn't matter. I knew I had to start this co-creation process in order to manifest the move. So I made one document document for each location, and then I was apartment searching online. And when I would find something that piqued my interest, I would copy and paste the link into these documents just so I knew that when I was ready to make the move, when it was time, I had already done research and I could just go click on the links and reach out to the apartments that I wanted to look at. So that was just one thing that I did to co-create. Another thing that I did before I even knew where I was moving yet was go through all of my things in storage. I had so much stuff in storage. I had stuff from high school, from undergrad, from grad school. I had stuff from after. Like when I became a nomad, I literally just threw everything in storage and was like, future me's problem. And now it's future me. I knew I had so much in storage and that there was no way, no matter where I moved, that all of that was coming with me, if any of it. So I started to go through and sell stuff and get rid of stuff in order to make space for the move. And honestly, this process actually felt like really good too. One last piece of my co-creation that I wanted to share is that once I decided that I was moving to Costa Rica, I was at an art and craft store and I found one of those diamond art pieces. You know, like the kind where you take the sticky pen, you put it on the little bead diamond thing, and then you stick it on the sticky poster and it creates like this beautiful piece of art. Well, once I decided that I moved to Costa Rica, I was just walking around the store for fun, kind of getting inspired, and I saw this and I was like, that is such a Costa Rican vibe. I could totally see that in my kitchen. But let me remind you that I didn't have an apartment yet. I had just decided that I was gonna move to Costa Rica. But I did not let that stop me. I bought this piece of art with the intention that every time I was working on creating this new beautiful piece of art, I was actually working on creating my new home. And it's actually a really fun and relaxing way to co-create with the universe. And I do have to say that I didn't finish it before I moved to Costa Rica. But when I moved into this apartment, I knew it was going to be temporary. I knew it was going to be short term, and so I continued to actively work on this piece of art while living here. And I'm actually moving in just a few days to a place that feels much more like home, and I am so close to finishing this piece of art, and I can absolutely picture it in my new apartment. So I feel like the timing of it is really not a coincidence. Just remember that while you're co-creating with the universe, always listen to your intuition. It's always going to steer you in the direction of your highest path and help you get to that point where that desire is manifesting into your reality. Now, truly, the hardest part for me when it comes to manifesting is letting go of control. The Virgo in me literally screams every time, but I know it's what needs to be done. And just know you cannot play tricks or games with the universe. Trust me, I have tried. I've told myself like, oh, I don't care. I don't have any control, blah, blah, blah. It's fine. Let it come to me. But in reality, I'm white knuckle holding on to every little step and ounce of control that I can deep down. And in my experience, sometimes it just takes someone randomly telling you like, hey, you gotta let it go. It's time to chill. Because I've learned that you trying to control the process of how and when this desire manifests into your life is only slowing down the process, because you're just getting in the way of all of the magic that the universe wants to share with you. I know it sounds so cliche, but truly the journey to your dream reality can be just as fun as the actual manifested reality. Because if you're not excited about the steps along the way, then what makes you think that you're going to be excited when you get there? So when it comes to manifesting versus goal setting, this is what I want you to remember. Goals are things that you want to experience someday. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not in 20 years, just someday. Manifestations are desires that you're actively seeking and want to bring into your reality. When you're manifesting, you're taking intuitive action and co-creating with the universe to bring your dreams to your reality, no matter the when, no matter the how. And just remember that this is supposed to be fun and lighthearted. There's no reason to put extra pressure on yourself. It's just made up. You will probably stumble and you will probably fall along the way, but just remember that those are all lessons learned. So just remember to show gratitude along the way, because all of these stumbles, these falls, these celebrations, these exciting moments, every little one is a piece to the puzzle of the life that you're creating for yourself. And not just your life, your dream life. I'm curious to know what your thoughts and methods are when it comes to manifestation. I'm always wanting to learn more. So please leave a comment below and share those with us. Also, if you're currently working on manifesting something, leave it down below so we can support you and cheer you on. Thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, if you have any questions, please just leave them down below so I can answer them. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel as well, and follow me over on TikTok and Instagram at zenjen.meditation. We will chat again very soon. Love you.